The age of dogfights is over. The next air war won't be won by who can pull the hardest G's, it will be won by who can think the fastest. Because the new apex predator in the sky isn't just a fighter jet, it's a war strategist with wings. A supercomputer that commands its own robotic strike force. Meet the F-47, America's sixth-generation sky chess master. A jet built to call checkmate before the enemy even knows the game has begun. The canopy seals shut, and the world outside disappears, replaced by a 360-degree holographic battle space projected onto your visor. Enemy fighters glow red on the horizon, their missiles envelop shimmering like translucent domes waiting to trap you. Your swarm of drones fan out ahead, each outlined in blue, awaiting your command like knights on a digital chessboard. The AI whispers options into your vision. Jam here, strike there, decoy left, collapse chaos into clarity at machine speed. Your hands tighten on the stick, and with a single nod of approval, the sky itself becomes your chessboard, and the enemy your next move. And while the world obsessed over its price tag, its politics, its delays, something else was happening. Behind the curtain, the Pentagon was already testing the next chapter in evolution. The F-46, a jet built not to duel, but to dominate. Not to win the turning fight, but to win before the fight even begins. And on March 21st, 2025, whispers became fact. The United States Air Force announced Boeing, not Lockheed, secured the crown jewel contract, the next-generation air dominance fighter. Its name? The F-47. But the Air Force didn't just unveil a plane. They unveiled an entire philosophy of war. The F-47 is not a lone gladiator. At its core, a manned fighter, stealthier and faster than anything in the sky. Around it, a constellation of autonomous wingmen. The F-47 doesn't fight alone. It commands collaborative combat aircraft, unmanned drones designated to fly as its wingmen. Each drone is smaller than a fighter, but still carries weapons, sensors, or jammers. Some scout ahead, some act as decoys, others deliver missiles. They're expendable by design. Pawns the F-47 can risk while it stays safe. One F-47 can direct several at once, multiplying its firepower and confusing the enemy with a mix of real and false threats. This is the family of systems that will define the battles of the 2030s. Picture the battlefield as a chessboard. The F-47 is the queen, long reach, decisive power, lethal from any angle, and around it, unmanned rooks and knights, drones that scout ahead, jam sensors, soak up missile fire, or strike with precision weapons. Every move is calculated, every piece is sacrificial if it brings victory closer. The opponent sees pieces advancing, but can never see the full plan. That's what the Air Force unveiled in 2025. Not just an aircraft, but a system designed to outthink, outmaneuver, and overwhelm. So, what do we actually know? First, range. A combat radius of more than 1,000 nautical miles. That is double the legs of the F-35 and even beyond the F-22 Raptor. Second, speed. Mach 2 and beyond. This is more than 2,400 kilometers per hour, enough to outpace interceptors, compress response times, and deliver a strike before an enemy can react. Third, stealth. The Air Force hasn't released exact numbers, but they've said it openly. The F-47 is stealthier than any aircraft in existence today. The F-22 and F-35 were shadows. The F-47 is designed to be a ghost. And from day one, the jet wasn't conceived as a lone warrior. It was designed to fight as part of a team, a central brain commanding autonomous wingmen. No one jet versus one jet, but a network of machines overwhelming the enemy from every single angle. But to make all of this possible, to marry stealth, range, and speed required a revolution under the hood. That revolution is called adaptive cycle propulsion. Think of it like a hybrid supercar engine, except for the sky. In one mode, it sips fuel, long, patient endurance, cruising for hours across the Pacific without guzzling reserves. Then, at the flip of a switch, the engine transforms, shifting airflow, unlocking hidden thrust, delivering a sprint that can push the jet past Mach 2 in seconds. It's two engines in one. Endurance and speed, reach and power. No longer a trade-off, you get both. But the real revolution is what the F-47 commands, the collaborative combat aircraft. The Air Force wants over 1,000 of them, flying in formation with F-47s and even F-35s. They're teammates, each carrying sensors, jammers, or missiles of their own. Some go forward to sniff enemy radar, some fly as decoys, some carry long-range air-to-air weapons, others dive on ground targets. In 2026, the Pentagon showed its hand. Fewer F-35s, the retirement of the A-10. Billions shifted into stealth bombers, swarm drones, and the F-47. The lesson is simple. America is betting on smarter planes, not just more planes, and it's building a force for the wars of tomorrow, not the wars of the past. What makes the F-47 terrifying to America's rivals isn't just its speed or its stealth, it's the intelligence packed into its frame. The F-35 gave pilots something new, sensor fusion. The F-47 takes that concept and supercharges it with artificial intelligence. Here's the challenge. In modern air combat, there are simply too many signals, too much data, and too many decisions happening too fast. Radar sweeps, infrared signals, satellite imagery, jamming attempts, enemy maneuvers, drone telemetry, weapons in flight. A human pilot cannot process it all, not at Mach 2, not when survival depends on decisions measured in fractions of a second. This is where the AI comes alive. The F-47's brain doesn't just show data, it interprets it. It builds patterns. It forecasts intent. It can flag that an enemy's fighter radar has gone dark, not because it failed, but because it's slipping into missile lock. It thinks faster than human reaction time. But here's the critical piece. The AI doesn't replace the pilot. It doesn't make the lethal call alone. Instead, the AI becomes something else, a battlefield partner. It fights the war of information so the pilot can fight the war of decisions. Imagine a cockpit where 1,000 potential threats are condensed to 3 clear options, where the AI doesn't just scream incoming missile, it highlights the best evasive path, the drone that can intercept, and the weapon most likely to kill the attacker. And it doesn't stop at survival. The AI also commands the swarm, dozens of collaborative combat aircraft, each with their own sensors and weapons. Without AI, one pilot could never manage that kind of formation. It would be like playing a dozen games of chess at once, blindfolded. But with AI, the F-47 becomes the grandmaster. The machine handles the pawns, the drones on the edges of the fight. The pilot plays the strategy, issuing the critical orders. Move here, strike here, jam this frequency, decoy that missile. The next time an enemy deploys a new jammer, it already has a countermove. It's a feedback loop of experience, pilots and algorithms training each other in real time. And that's why the F-47 isn't just an aircraft. It's the first AI-native fighter jet. A platform designed from the ground up to think, to command, to win at machine speed, while still keeping human judgment at the very heart of every lethal choice. Modern air combat isn't just radar blips anymore. It's radar, infrared, electronic warfare signals, drone telemetry, satellite feeds, data links from other aircraft, all hitting the cockpit at once. AI acts like a super analyst. It takes thousands of signals and turns them into a single clear picture. It filters noise, prioritizes threats, and warns of danger before the human eye could even spot it. Instead of a cluttered radar screen, the pilot might just see 2 inbound aircraft, 1 radar silent, possible ambush. The AI doesn't just react, it anticipates. By studying flight patterns, radar behavior, and electronic signatures, it can predict enemy intent. It can flag that a fighter is turning off its radar not because it's leaving the fight, but because it's going into missile lock. It can see the telltale spike in emissions that signals a SAM launch, milliseconds before the missile leaves the tube. That warning buys survival. This is why the F-47 becomes less a jet and more a command center with wings. AI coordinates those drones automatically. One is tasked to scout, another to jam, a third to act as a decoy, a fourth to deliver the kill shot. The pilot issues the broad orders, break the formation or blind that radar, and the AI translates them into precise, coordinated drone maneuvers. It's like playing chess with 10 hands at once, but the AI makes sure every piece moves in harmony. Electronic warfare is a constantly changing puzzle. Radars shift frequency, jammers change patterns. The F-47's AI will adapt in real time. If an enemy radar uses a frequency no US jet has seen before, the AI can analyze it mid-battle and generate a counter-signal on the fly. The pilot's helmet is no ordinary piece of gear. It's the crown of the sky chess master. Part visor, part supercomputer, and the key to commanding the swarm. The F-35's current HDMS costs around $400,000 per unit, more than the price of a Ferrari. Each one is custom fitted to the pilot's skull down to millimeters using 3D scans, because even the slightest misalignment at Mach 2 could mean missing a missile warning or losing weapons lock. For the F-47, expect that cost to climb even higher. With next-gen sensors, high-resolution projectors, eye tracking, and augmented reality overlays powered by AI. And yet, it may be the single most important piece of equipment in the cockpit, because it transforms the pilot from a man flying a jet into a commander directing an army. In air combat, sometimes victory comes down to who shoots first and who shoots smart. When a formation of F-47s and their drone wingman enter the fight, they bring an arsenal to the sky: long-range air-to-air missiles, precision strike bombs, electronic decoys, standoff jammers, even directed energy weapons in the future. But with so many shooters in the network, the question becomes who fires and when. That's where the AI takes command of complexity. It weighs dozens of factors in fractions of a second. Position: which drone or fighter is closest to the target? Angle: who has the cleanest shot without exposing themselves? Weapons loadout: does one drone carry a long-range missile better suited than another's short-range one? Probability of a kill: which weapon has the best chance of striking home against that particular aircraft or radar? Target priority: which enemy is the greatest threat? The missile-carrying bomber, the jamming platform, or the stealth fighter closing in? The AI crunches all of this simultaneously. Instead of forcing the pilot to juggle 10 threats and 10 shooters, it collapses the options into the optimal play. But in the heat of battle, when milliseconds matter, having the AI tee up the perfect shot can mean survival. It's like having a chess computer updating its next move every second, except the chess pieces are armed jets, drones, and missiles hurtling through the sky. For America's pilots, that means clarity in chaos. For America's rivals, it means facing a force where every weapon is always in the right place at the right time against the right target. The F-47 itself is no bomb truck. It was never designed to lumber into combat hauling oversized loads on its wings. Every weapon it carries is tucked away inside stealth bays, hidden, precise, deliberate. For comparison, the F-22 Raptor can carry 6 AMRAAMs and 2 sidewinders internally. The F-35 usually carries 4 AMRAAMs, with upgrades pushing that to 6. The F-47, with its larger frame and 6th-generation design, raises the stakes. Analysts believe it could house 6 to 8 long-range missiles inside its bays, all while remaining invisible on radar. Air-to-air, the AIM-260 JAT-AM, a next-generation AMRAAM replacement with greater speed and range. Air-to-ground, precision options like the small-diameter Bomb-2, joint strike missiles, or standoff weapons designed for anti-ship and anti-radar strikes. Future systems, directed energy pods, electronic warfare payloads, and even hypersonic air-to-air missiles are being discussed. Thanks to its adaptive engines, the F-47 balances fuel and payload with efficiency no jet has ever matched. It may not haul the massive bomb loads of a Strike Eagle, but that was never the point. If the F-47 is the queen on the board, its collaborative combat aircraft, the CCAs, are the rooks and knights. The Air Force has revealed more about what these unmanned fighters will carry than the F-47 itself. Sized roughly like an F-16 or smaller, they don't need cockpits or life support. That space is freed for fuel and payload. Each drone can pack 2 to 4 advanced missiles internally, either for air combat or precision strike. Others can be outfitted with jammers, decoys, or sensor pods instead of weapons. Some designs could even carry larger single payload anti-ship missiles, electronic warfare modules, or mini drone dispensers. And they are attritable, designed to take risks the manned F-47 cannot. Some will be sent deep into danger with high-risk strike weapons. One F-47 may command 2, 4, or even more CCAs. Together, the F-47 and its swarm change the rules. A single F-47 with its wingmen might bring around 12 to 20 long-range missiles into combat, more than an entire legacy squadron could deliver. The cockpit is no longer about interpreting data. It's about seeing the battle as it really is, a three-dimensional chessboard where every move is illuminated. The pilot doesn't waste time decoding screens. He simply plays the game. But here's where it becomes something new. The F-47 isn't just a fighter that flies. It's a fighter that learns. It builds a living library of tactics, signatures, and behaviors, a playbook that grows with every single sortie. And it doesn't keep that wisdom to itself. The moment an F-47 lands, its memory is uploaded and shared across the fleet, which means the next pilot who straps in isn't starting from scratch. He's flying with the collective experience of every battle that came before him. Each mission makes the jet smarter. For America's adversaries, this is the nightmare. They're not facing a static weapon. They're facing a system that adapts faster than they can counter. But here's the line that will not be crossed. The AI may see, but it will never be allowed to kill on its own. The Pentagon calls this principle human on the loop. It calculates solutions, it manages the chaos, but the final trigger, the decision to fire a missile, to drop a bomb, to end a life, still rests with the pilot. That balance is deliberate. Machine speed for machine tasks, human judgment for human consequences. Together, they form something entirely new. But man with machine, a partnership designed to dominate the skies of the 21st century, the F-47 transforms from a fighter jet into a chess master of war. In combat, the helmet becomes the chessboard itself. The pilot is no longer interpreting data from flat screens. He is literally inside the game. For a century, air wars were won by pilots who flew harder, higher, faster. The F-47 flips the script. Now wars are won by the side that sees first, decides first, and acts first. The F-47 doesn't outfly the enemy, it outthinks them. When it emerges from the shadows, it won't come alone. It will bring an army of autonomous wingmen, a force designed for the distances, dangers, and speeds of the 2030s. It's not about flying better, it's about playing a better game. And the F-47 is built to call checkmate.